Welcome to IT Revision Hub. Today I am going to show you how to configure a Alibaba server load balancer to realize high availability. What is a server load balancer? Server load balancer is a service that distributes traffic among multiple ECS instances. It can scale up the service capability of an application system by distributing traffic and enhance availability by eliminating SPOF. Here you may find two technical terms. First one is ECS, other one is SPOF. Now we'll see what is an ECS. ECS is very similar to Amazon EC2 or Azure Virtual Machine. ECS lets you rent scalable computing power in the cloud. You get the virtual machine with CPU, memory RAM, storage and operating system Linux or Windows, network access, etc. We can select each parameters as our wish. That is called an ECS in Alibaba Cloud. Now let's talk about what is SPOF. SPOF means single point of failure. Single point of failure means if one server is unavailable, all the service will be fail. To avoid that, here I will show you how to configure a server load balancer to mitigate that single point of failure. Now we will start the lab session. Here I will increase the font, then you can see it very easily. I am pasting the lab username. I took it from here. Now from the password. This is to log into the lab session. Here they have asked several multi-factor authentication terms. So I will skip this and go to the lab session. Here this is the lab session. Actually in this lab session all ECS are being created. So we need to worry about to create ECS and even the load balancer. But what we need to do is to configure this load balancer and the two ECS. Now let's go to the lab session again. Now I am in this state. This is the place I have entered the username and password. Now log into the lab environment Alibaba Cloud. I already logged in using these provided credentials. This is the way how to log in. It shows very clearly. So now I am in here. Console has been updated. So we'll go to the console maintenance mode. This is the lab. Now I will view the lab. These are the two ECS. These are the specification of these two ECS. Also, it has two public IPs assigned for those two elastic IPs actually. So we'll go to the first ECS. Here you can see the elastic IP is here. Now we'll go to the again instruction manual. So elastic compute services. Now this is the two instances which I showed you earlier. So now I click one of these instances. Now we need to start the Apache server there. Before we start, we need to install the Apache server in those two ECS by logging to the ECS instances using PuTTY. Now we'll use the putty and we'll connect to the two ECS instances. Okay. Now, first of all, I will copy this IP. This is the copy. Okay. Now I use my putty to log into that particular ECS instance. I will increase the font size a little bit, then you can see clearly. See, now I am going to the again the lab session to get the password. Root. This is the password of this for Windows machine. Actually, not Windows machine, it's a Linux machine. Copy. I will go to the putty again. Root. Here you can see I log into the first ECS instance. Putty. Now I am going to update the Linux service. Now it's updating. It will take some time. Now it is already updated. Now I am going to install the Apache using this command apt-get install Apache. Here I use copy button and go to the again. Now the service is installing the Apache service. It's installed already. Now we'll check the service Apache 2 status. Here you can see Apache service is running. Okay, now we need to create a simple web page, and this is the first we need to go to this particular folder. Now I am going to create a simple basic HTML page using this command. This is the command. Now I am going to create a small web page. Hello world, this is ECS1. Now the ECS1 is created. Now we'll check whether this web page is getting loaded. Okay. First of all, I need to go to the particular instance. So I will copy the IP again and we'll use this browser, and now we'll see whether web page is getting loaded. But not loading. Don't know why is that. Because here I used HTTPS, but we need to use HTTP. This is the web page which I have already created by using this command. This is the web page creation command. Now we'll go to the next ECS instance. Now I will click this one, and next I will go to the second ECS instance. To check that one, again we need to click here. Here you can see the ECS configuration, CPU, 4 GB RAM, etc. Now this is the elastic IP assigned for this particular ECS. So now I use the putty again. Now I will create a new session. copy this particular IP. I open this. Again, we'll change the settings, appearance, change. So you can here and use the same username, password. Here we can connect to the ECS2. We can do the same thing for this virtual machine as well. Now I update the Linux server. Now I am going to install I'm going to install Apache 2. Apache 2 is installed. Now we'll see the Apache service is up as what we did for the first ECS. Now you can see the Apache is running. Now we'll create the same HTML page, but the only difference is we rename it as the ECS2. We'll go to the HTML folder. Actually, this is the web folder. Now we'll create the ECS2. We'll change this one to ECS2. Now we'll create the HTML page. Now we'll copy the IP and check whether this instance is working. This is for the first ECS instance. This is for the second ECS instance, but here I will type HTTP. So we'll see. Now you can see this is the web server of the ECS2. This is the web server of the ECS1. The IPs are also different. Now we have completed the ECS configuration. Now we'll go to the Elastic Compute Service. Okay, now we need to configure the load balancer. To configure the load balancer, first we need to go to the load balancer. Before that, we'll refer the lab again. Now we are here in the lab session. View the classic load balancer instance. Now we'll type SLB here. Here you can see total one load balancer is running here. We'll go to the CLB. Now here you can see US Silicon Valley. We'll click here. Now you can see one classic load balancer is created for us to configure. Now we'll try to configure this load balancer according to the provided lab guide. Now we'll configure this load balancer. This is our load balancer. Now we'll configure this load balancer. Here, this is the load balancer settings. Before configure the listener, we need to first configure the backend servers. Now we'll select our already configured two backend servers. We'll go to the next. and click add and then press OK. Confirm. Do you want to save the changes? We'll save these changes. Now we have added the default server groups. These two are in the same zone, Silicon Valley Zone A, Silicon Valley Zone A. So now we'll go to the listener. Now we'll create a listener for these two servers. This is the server group. Now we'll create a listener, add listener. Here we need to select the port HTTP and as this is the internet, we need to click port 80. Now we'll go to the next. So default server group, we can see here, these two is here. But the thing is we need to add port 80 here. Okay. Now we'll go to the next. Health check should be enabled. We'll go to the next and there's nothing to change. Now we'll submit. Here you can see default server group is successful. Layer 7 SLB is created. Enable listener. Now it's already configured. Okay. Now this is the load balancer listener IP. Now we can use this IP to connect to our web server. We'll see. Here you can see ECS1 is coming up. I will increase the font size. If I refresh the settings, it will go to ECS2, but it's not going. See, it's going one by one. See, this is called round robin. Also, it is the weight is set to 100. Here you can see from this configuration. See, we have set this to 100. Okay, we'll see what is the protocol used. Modify the listener. We'll go to this one. See, session persistent, bandwidth listener unlimited. See, scheduling algorithm is round robin. Okay, if you want to change this scheduling algorithm to weighted round robin, we can say configure this as well. These are the two scheduling algorithms that we can use. Shall we change this to weighted round robin and we'll see what is happening there. Now we'll go to the web page again. We'll see ECS1. Now if we refresh again, ECS2. Now the weight is we set to 100. Now we'll go to the default server group and we'll change the weight. Modify. This is the, we'll set the different weight for this one. We'll set 50. Actually, this is from the public IP we can check. This is 81. 81 means ECS2. Now I have changed the ECS2 to 50. That means if ECS2 loads one time, ECS1 load 2 times. Okay. Now we will check this. ECS1 one time, two, see, two times. ECS1 is two times, ECS2 is one time. We'll check again, one, again one, now two. See the behavior. Okay. If we want to change, if we consider if this ECS2 server, that means this one, 81, ECS2. If we want to use this server for maintenance activity, we can change this settings to 0, 238. 238 means ECS1. If we change this setting, this is ECS2. ECS2 means 81, 81, 81, 81. This is the ECS2. We'll change this to 0 and see what will happen. Now it is changed to 0. Now it should load only ECS1 only. Okay, because 238 is the ECS 238 is the ECS1. See how many times we click this one, only ECS1 is loading because ECS2 weight is set to 0. See here, it is 0. Now I will set again this to 100 again. Now you can see, now you will see it will load consecutively. See, now I think you have an idea of how to change these settings. I will increase this font a little bit. If you want to change the listener settings, we can use this tab and go to this one and modify the configuration here. Here, default server group is there. We'll go to the modify listener. Here you can see weighted round robin scheduling. If you want to change these settings, we can use modify. Likewise, we can change the settings of this listener. Now I think you have an idea of how to create a server load balancer in Alibaba Cloud in order to create high availability cluster. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon in order to get the latest videos which is related to latest technology. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.